At last, the final battle against the dwarves and the men of Dale. If Sauron's forces are victorious here, then all of the lands east of the Misty Mountains will be under his rule. There will be no respite for the scattered forces of the North.
Okay, hey everyone, it's Rude Devil, welcome back to more Lord of the Rings. On the last episode we had visited the Withered Heath and forged an alliance with the dragons there, which, in the whole context of things, I don't think it really amounts to that much. But in this episode we have been ordered by the mighty Lord Sauron to kind of vanquish the last remaining dwarves in Erebor. And this was a really fun mission in the good campaign, and I wish I could say the same for the evil campaign. But I think I should get one thing out of the way first. This was a live commentary, okay? This whole, these couple episodes that I recorded of me doing this level was a live commentary. And then when I went to go edit it together, I found out that my input volume had been set at 0 for some unknown reason, so that my sound was not recorded. So now, just to save myself from going back and doing these levels again, because I really didn't have fun doing this level, I'm just going to be doing the commentary over this thing, so I hope you guys don't mind. But yeah, like the first part of this level that we're supposed to do was basically supposed to clear out the city of Dale to make way for our fortress. But I decided to send all my units to the right, except my orcs. I'd send them to the left as like sort of cannon fodder. And I sent them to the right because I feel defending the right part of Dale, or the city of Dale in Erebor, is probably easier to defend than where they start you off. And the one reason why I dislike this level so much is that it is really tricky, and that's largely in part to the non-stop dwarves that they send at you. They have so many production buildings in Erebor that they can just spam dwarves at you left, right, and center. And then when you finally muster enough troops to attack, it will take you so long to actually break through, because by the time you've been done killing one wave of attackers, another wave is kind of spawned. So it's like never ending. You really have to make sure you have a large army and then combine your powers effectively with that. Now the main point for destroying the city of Dale is not just so you can get your fortress up, but also each time you take down a building you actually get a large amount of resources for it. So that's a good way of getting a really good economy before you even got any builders out. I think if you're going to be copying me in this Let's Play, you will need to get as many buildings down as possible, mainly because my strategy involves like a pretty weak economy. I think it's only through devastation and industry that I actually have enough to make like attack trolls and Haradrim and all the other better units that we need. It's actually a pretty slow start. Destroying these cities is something that's not destroying these buildings rather is something that's not that entertaining. But you gotta do what you gotta do. Now, if you remember the layout of Erebor, it was kind of like a big L shape. So when you're assaulting it, they're obviously going to send dwarves to the right and dwarves to the left. Now, luckily in the beginning, see I used devastation here. Luckily in the beginning, dwarves only come from the left, and this is because on the right side of Erebor, the developers are kind enough to actually put a fire drake there. So all the dwarves that try and attack you from the right get killed by that fire drake. If you have Untamed Allegiance, which I didn't get, I don't think it's that great a power, you can actually use it to get that fire drake. And obviously from there you can requisition more fire drakes, so it is pretty useful. I think fire drake's probably like 2 grand from there though. So it will suck up a lot of resources. It is perfect actually, it is perfect. It does make the level a lot easier, and I'm thinking of how much easier it would have been now if I had Untamed Allegiance, because literally you could just use the Fire Drake's Inferno and just burn all of the units to death, and then go in with your main troops. I should point out though that Inferno will burn your own troops, so in case you didn't know that, like if you got 2 armies fighting like some of your units in there, and then you walk in with an Inferno, it will kill like everything there, including your units. So yeah, I don't know how many, I think I spent like 6 minutes destroying these buildings. It makes for a very boring gameplay, but you do get a lot of resources. I don't know how many more we have to take down. I know that you should be careful when kind of moving your troops about Dale, because there's about, I don't know, it's like 6 or 8 towers in Dale, and they've all got Men of Dale in them. I think they're all equipped with fire arrows as well, so extremely lethal, especially when you get your settlers, when you get your builders later on. Make sure not to go in the towers, well, range of the towers. And there we go, the Dale area has been cleared. We can finally actually get this level started. So I move all my units to the right hand side on the other side of that little lake. And we get 4 mighty builders to kind of create a war machine. And we also get 2 Nazgul and the Malthusar. Now these heroes will be invaluable to you. There'll be a lot of combat in this level, so there'll be a chance to level up quite a lot. If I would keep them off I would take them off their horses once they've reached the far right side, purely because they're a lot more combat effective and a lot less vulnerable to pikemen when they're not on their horse. Now you gotta watch here. I got two sets of builders going in different directions, and I was afraid that those 2 builders I just selected would get in the way of the tower. So you should really kind of micromanage the direction in which your builders are heading, because the last thing you want is to lose a builder, especially on this level.
They're over here too. Let's get it moving. They're attacking.
And I think my heroes can take down that tower, but they took their time.
The work never ends here.
Ideally, you don't want to lose any units that you start off with. Those 5 catapults we get are kind of core to my defensive strategy. So, in case you haven't guessed, I'm going to be building a fortress on the right-hand side. I'm going to just be putting up a mighty defense of barricades, towers, and catapults to hold off the dwarves. Which may sound simple enough, but the dwarves, after a while, they do start getting upgrades. They do start bringing in catapults, which make you all alive a living hell. Some of my builders got injured from the catapults. And then I'll just, when I have a sufficient army, I'll just go and destroy the Throne of Erebor, as it says building a fortress will take a chunk of your resources, but you gotta build on. And as you can see, the economy starts off very slowly because I don't have any space really to build furnaces or slaughterhouses. But that will all change soon enough. Now we're also introduced to the Haradrim Palace, the first time we get these buildings in the Evil campaign. These make Eastlings. This will be your main infantry, because they do, while they'll be at a disadvantage against Guardians, they are they're like a lot better than Orcs and Corsairs in combat. Now, I'm going to do a bombarding defense, and you can actually switch the ammunition from flaming boulders to like this skeleton, which causes people to flee. Yes, you actually throw skeletons at people. And I have, out of the 5 catapults, I've set 2 to the, the skull throwing mode, and then 3 to the flaming ball. And then I just bombard the area in front of me. Mainly because if you don't, when the dwarves get in closer, it'll just like cause your catapults to kind of scatter, like trying to hit them, and they're not as effective. You want to build towers and summon barricades if you have the power. You want to kind of do that just to keep the dwarves busy, so that kind of keeps the pressure off your catapults. I think I decided to build them soon. Now what is, your hero should level up, so it should be... oh, sorry. Sorry. Yeah, a good thing about the heroes is that you should definitely, utilize the powers that they unlock, especially the Nazgul Screech. That will, if you're under a lot of pressure, will just cause every unit to flee. And also Malthusar's level 10 power, which, just gets... It's basically a big laser beam coming from his eye. And it, allows him to, like, kick the shit out of anything. It's also like it's basically a hero killing move, so later on it'll be a lot, it'll be extremely useful. And at this point in time, I wish this was a live commentary, because it's a lot easier to gauge my reactions when it's live, obviously. But I was like flipping out. I'm always rather paranoid in this level, because I know my defenses aren't the best, so it could easily fall. And I I've had a lot of bad experiences on this level with the amount of dwarves that they send, because seriously, they don't stop. With the Himalayan palaces up, I decided to build a couple Easterlings, and then I think with that, once I've got a couple Easterlings, I'm quite confident in my defense. I was quite annoyed. I lost a troll there. I remember being annoyed that they couldn't take down guardians. But yeah, just trying to sort of solidify our defense a bit by getting up some towers. Now they're expensive, but you get them with fire arrows. Unupgraded dwarves just turkey shoot. They won't get fire at all. Now I haven't expanded to the right because of that fire drake, as I said, and it's also keeping the dwarves on our right flank off up there. Yeah. So foundation. Setting up your bases does take a while. That is important. Now I'm saving up points for the all the the 5th tier powers or whatever, like the Balrog and Summoning Dragon. I think I only get one in this game. I think there's like 25 points up for grabs in this level. There's a lot of points. I don't know whether I get all of them. But I do, we do get a lot of points. Now you don't want your Eastlings to go engage the dwarves. You just want them there as kind of security, sort of an insurance policy in case your towers fail. So you're basically going to be it's going to be towers and catapults and any barricades, because while they're not that strong, it does give them, it's like sort of an annoyance for the doors. Something else for them to attack. I like to have, I don't know, about 4 or 5 Eastlings out, and then later on I'd recommend building a tavern and getting the upgrades for it. That builder's nearly dead.